Good morning from Big Sky Country. I'm Stacy, owner of Montana Used Bricks. And today my video is a little bit different. Yesterday I filmed a couple of short little videos. One was a comment that was made on the worldwide buyers and sellers group on Facebook. There was a comment about shipping, so I thought I would do just a follow-up to my shipping video that I did a couple of weeks ago and actually talk about packaging the parts. And I kind of show how I do that. The other was a comment on my sorting process video. They wanted to know a little bit more on how I did that. So I did a very short video yesterday, and I'm not sure how good it's going to come out because I didn't have the camera at the right angle. And I gotta say, I'm just not feeling it this week. I have been sick on and off since Thursday, so I'm been doing a lot of sleeping, and I go in today to have a COVID test. I don't think I have COVID, but for work I have to get it done because we're supposed to be in the office. So I have to verify that I just have allergies or a cold so I can go back in the office and do my job. I can do it from home too, but you know, they prefer us to be back in the office. So I'm just gonna dive right into those two videos, and I hope you enjoy them. This is my shipping center. And there was some discussion on the worldwide Bricklink buyers and sellers group on Facebook. There was some discussion about how parts were packaged before they were shipped. Some people do it by size, some does it by categories, some people divide out by lots. I personally do mine by color, unless there's just a few, like in this one, where there's just a few of each color. I went ahead and put all of those together. I would never put the dark bluish gray and the dark gray together, and I would never put the light gray and the light bluish gray together because those are so hard to tell apart. I do mine by color, that way when the buyer gets the order, they can sort it by color to double check the order when they receive it. I've never had any complaints about that. I have had just one complaint out of the 1,000 or so orders I've sent with bricks stacked or plates stacked. I've only had one complaint about that. I do this only on the used parts. I don't do this on the new parts. I do this partly because it's easier to count when they get them. They can just, you know, do the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 to count them. Also, when I'm putting them into inventory, if I stack them, I can check real quick to see if there's a lot of fading or if there's a lot of scratch marks on them. It's a couple of the reasons why I do it that way. Also, when they're being mailed, they don't slide around in the package as much and are less likely to get scratched. I don't do that with new parts. New parts I never put together. When I do my orders, I have a whole bunch of bags right here. I just select the size I think I'll need. I generally bag up the bigger stuff first. As I'm going through the order, if there's 8 or 10 or more of the smaller parts, I will go ahead and just put those in bags as I do it. And I'll double count those several times to make sure I have the right counts. This morning, I don't know if the caffeine hadn't kicked in, but some of these I had to count like 4 times to make sure I had the right amount. If I have quite a few, I'll go ahead and package all the plates together, the miscellaneous parts, and that sort of thing. So that'll be a little bit easier for them to double check the order. And I do have to lift it up to check it. I have forgotten parts before because I didn't look in all the little crevices of that and had to reopen packages to put the parts in. So I try to remember to shake it to make sure there's no parts. These bigger parts I'm just going to set basically loose in the bag just so I don't have to use another bag. And I will kind of play with it a little bit to see if I can get it as flat as possible. Make sure that there's nothing poking up. I may have to, that windscreen's going to be a problem, I think. So I can use some of the smaller bags to fill that in. There we go. So I try to make it as flat as possible. Make sure that there's nothing that's going to be sticking out. This one is just weird. Can't get this to lay flat. There we go. That's better. Okay. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. So once I have it flat, I have my business card and my YouTube information. Did finally get business cards made that will have the code for the YouTube channel and also for Bricklink will be on the front. And so I always stick the Bricklink number on the outside so that as soon as they pull it out, they see it. Once I have that done, I'll make sure that it's going to fit in that envelope. I will weigh it. I'll write the weight on here. So when I go back to my computer, I'll have the weight handy because my computer is across the room from my printer. And I also do a coupon for people who have ordered more than once in my store. I send a 10% coupon too. So that's just a reminder to send them a coupon. So once that's done, I will print out the shipping label, put it on there, and it'll go to the post office today. This probably isn't the best view for this. I haven't quite figured out where to put my camera yet, but this will give you a basic idea of how I sort to get the parts into inventory. Once I have sorted out a category, I put them into these boxes here. I usually sort 5 or 6 categories at a time, and you can watch my sorting video on that. So these are inverted slopes right here. So I'm going to be sorting these out today. What I use are these trays that I get from the dollar store. They're just food trays, and I will be sorting into these, and then I will put the parts that I'm not ready to sort, the smaller parts, into here. So I'm going to set these 3 out. And what I like to do is sort out the biggest parts first. So I'm going to look through here and I'm going to just find the larger parts and get those out of the way. And I'll worry about whether or not they have holes in them when I actually go to put them into Brickstore. Also, while I'm sorting, and I do this also when I put it into Brickstock, I will look at the parts. This one has some glue, so it was obviously glued to another Lego part, so I'm not going to be able to clean that. This part will go into here, and then I will resell these parts that I can't sell in my store on Facebook Marketplace. So this one is really yellowed. So what I will do is I will wash this with OxyClean and see if I can't get the yellow out. If not, it will end up here, but for now we'll try to wash it. Okay, so my 2x2 bricks are getting a little full. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 2x2s in here since that one was overflowing. And I'll set that right there. All right, so I'm all done sorting. My container's now empty. I have my inverted slopes sorted by part. I did find a couple of things that got thrown in there that shouldn't have been, and I have one that has a sticker on it. So next step will be to sort these parts by colors and get them uploaded to Brickstore. Okay, my next step in this process, and this is going to be a little awkward with the camera right there, is to open a new sheet on Brickstore. And I like to save it because I get interrupted a lot while I'm doing this. So I like to start out by saving it. And usually I just put today's date on it. If I'm doing a lot, I'll put AM or PM. So I'm going to bring up inverted slopes on Brickstore. Click the one I'm looking for, which happens to be the one. See, again, this has got something on it, so this one will need to be washed. So we'll put that in my needs to be washed container. As I'm sorting them, what I do is I sort them by color, and I usually try to put them in alphabetical order like they will be on a Brickstore, so I can just go down the known color list and type in the ones that I have. 3, 5. And I always have to double check the white because I'm going to wash that and see if I can get it a little bit whiter. Once I have that part into Brickstore, I will come over to my Bricklink. I will look up the part on my inventory. And I will sort these by color. And the reason I sort it by condition and then color name, item name, and then I also do down. And the reason I do that is because our new parts will end up at the bottom of the list and I won't be confusing those for where the used parts go. So I'll look to see which drawer these go in, and then I will put them in that drawer. These go in drawer 31, so I will run these over to drawer 31. And then I will move on and do those and just continue that process until I am through all of the parts. I'm hoping that answered the question that somebody had asked in the comments about how I actually put the parts, sort them out, and get them into Brickstock and get them into the drawers. I hope that makes it a little bit clearer. If not, go ahead and leave a comment and I will try to explain a little bit better on how I do this. And it is a very slow process. It does take me a long time. I do try to hire my nieces or my grandkids to come over and be what I call runners. So once they're ready to go in the drawer, they can look and see, oh, that's in drawer 31, and they can run it over to the drawer for me so I don't have to keep getting up and down. But I also laugh with my husband that some days this is the only exercise I get because I have a job where I sit 8 hours a day. Thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. As always, I really appreciate it. And thank you to all of you who took the time to subscribe. I'm now up to over 200 subscribers, so that made me very happy, especially with not feeling good this week. It was kind of the highlight of my week. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.